Good morning and good afternoon. We'll give everyone 120 seconds to get in here. So everyone drop in the chat, what are they most excited about today? What
I got one.
do you
So I
got?
got I got a from one of my attorney clients and very good friends. I got an email the other day that was very, very clearly ChatGPT written from a friend of mine. And I'm excited about not sounding like that.
Sounding like yourself. All
Yeah.
right, so it is 1:01. We'll get started. We will not, to be clear, we will be not fielding any questions during the training because we have a lot of material to get through, right? And so look, anything that's technically related to ChatGPT, you have to use their support, right? So we'll give you a framework of things to do, but we did not make ChatGPT. We don't know all the things that are in ChatGPT. Like we know a lot of them, but use their support feature. And I would say if you want to know how to do something in ChatGPT, just ask ChatGPT. It will literally tell you, right? You can ask it to reference it, FAQs, Reddit blogs, so on and so forth. So without further ado, welcome to the AI Accelerator course. Let me share my screen and we shall get started. So I'm read some of the comments. Mastering AI, how to prompt AI. Old clients want a list. They just called. That's amazing. What Andrew said, make my life easier, increase money. Well, look, the one thing that this will help you do is create the greatest resource in the world, which is time, right? We all don't have enough time. Time for ourselves, time for our families, time for work, times to talk to our clients, right? And so let's get started. All right, good. I can still see all of you. Look at all these people with their camera on. We're like at 3.5 out of 4, 3.25 out of 4 screens. One day I'll hit my 90% goal where everyone turns their camera on. So if you want to make me happy, turn your camera on so I can see all of you amazing humans. All right. So welcome to the AI Accelerator course. We're in our first session, Make AI Sound and Think Like You. Here's our roadmap. We're going to first go through how to make ChatGPT sound like you, right? No more generic outputs, no more random stuff. My ChatGPT sounds like me, thinks like me, talks like me. I even had a document that I was giving a new employee that they asked me 4 pages of questions. I stuck the questions in there and I was shocked at how accurate the answers were. They're even more accurate than I could do it because they're pulling from all of the different data points and conversations and things that I have. So look, the session's recorded. We're going to give you all the prompts. We're going to give you all the slides. We're going to give you everything. So just listen to listen, right? So you can be present and it's like attention, like I'm listening once, retention, I'm going to start doing it. And the repetition is where all the mastery comes from. So we're going to also talk about one of the biggest features that no one really thinks about is ChatGPT memory. And then I'm going to walk through all the features, right? Like just you need to know how the buttons and things work in here so you can use it more effectively. So make ChatGPT sound like you. So this is going to be, I would say, arguably the easiest thing that you'll ever do in your life. So does anyone know the difference between a prompt and a super prompt? Well, a prompt is what you guys type in. A super prompt is what I'm giving you. Now, a super prompt is, this took me a long time to make, but it's geared to ask you a specific set of questions and give you a specific output without you having to sit there and spend endless hours like I did figuring it all out. So let's walk through what this actually looks like. So when I'm telling you that this is a super prompt, look at this. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 pages long. 7. You're not going to build an AI digital twin out of nowhere, right? Train ChatGPT to become your virtual voice. So obviously it gives you a choice whether, yes, I made the super prompt, whether you want to go section by section or questions one by one. Now, we'll talk about the dictate function within ChatGPT and how you should be using that and how it will make this more effective. Because unless you're an English major, salespeople are better talkers than they are typers. Now, here's what happens next. This will be your output. Once the prompt is fully completed, it will generate your digital twin, which will summarize your voice, tone, client communication style, define how you think, advise across pricing, staging, negotiation, follow-up, include detailed notes on how you describe your market, your ideal clients, and your client services. Store local pricing trends, neighborhood insights, buyer and seller psychology specific to your area. Include direct phases, scripts, and real estate beliefs you want repeated in all outputs. Serve as your AI assistant profile that anyone on your team or marketing support can use to write descriptions, emails, bios, captions, replies in your voice, give market guidance, pitch ideas, pricing feedback, stay on brand, on message. And you can use them in a project, a custom GBT, a Google Doc, a prompt starter for VAs. So once it's ready, this is what it'll do. So it's going to go through all of these different areas, right? From your voice, personality, and style. I'm going to just zoom in on this. Suggested uploads. Now, this is the difference between good and great. If you're smart, which I know all of you are, you will take the hour plus that this will take to do and upload things that you like on how you sound. The more context it has, the better it's going to be. Remember my rule about communication. Communication without context is miscommunication. So we go through voice, personality style, business identity, local market mastery, client psychology and persuasion, sales strategy and follow-up systems, marketing message and style, branding and online presence. It literally will even have you add links to all of your websites, Instagram, YouTube, Zillow, all of the different things. Your edge, what makes you different. This is how you build your digital twin. And yes, you have to buy the $20 version ChatGPT. Now, let's go into deploying your digital twin, right? So there's 3 ways that you can do it. And just so you all feel better before you start asking questions, how to deploy your digital twin. It's all in this sheet that you guys will get access to and that we'll send everybody, right? All here. Now, custom GBTs. Here's the difference for custom GBTs. It'll take you a little longer to do it, but the cool thing about a custom GBT is you can share it with anybody, right? So if you don't have, as my buddy Charlie says, if you don't have a virtual assistant, you are the virtual assistant. Giving your virtual assistant something like this will change your entire business because they can do so much more for you. Projects, if you're using yourself as a just for yourself, you can just create a project and we've given you right here the prompt to put into the project right here. So every time, do not explain that you're referencing the twin unless I ask, just act in character and provide the results as their exact AI counterpart. You put this in here, right? It has things in here like never default to generic real estate language, mainstream advice, or tone mismatches. Always write, recommend, and reason based on the content in the digital twin, right? So you will put this prompt in, and then in the file section, you will add your digital twin, right? Because you're going to get a document that you can use at the end of this. Now, the document can be used anywhere, right? Literally anywhere. You can share it with VAs, you can share it with anybody, but anyone that needs to be able to do something like you can share this document and ask them to upload it into ChatGPT. Now, let me ask you, write simple or complicated in actually creating the twin? And if somebody writes complicated because it takes a lot of time, me and you're going to have a confrontation. Because you're already spending endless hours trying to do things, right? So for anyone that's lost, you literally copy this prompt into ChatGPT, right? Copy this whole thing. I'd hit Command A, Command C, and I would paste it in. And the thing is going inside and it's just going to ask you questions, right? And look, the late, great Kobe Bryant said, you'll never be great at anything you don't practice. You have to use this stuff. It is the only way that you'll get good at it. So here's what I want you to do. You're going to copy this prompt in, right? You will go to ChatGPT. I'm going to do this in a temporary chat, right? This is here, right? So this is not going to reference anything. And I'm just going to paste this in. Would you like to proceed section by section or one section at a time? Now, if I replied A, I'm going to say section by section, right? Now, if you see this button here, this dictate feature, you're going to just hit dictate, bless you, and you're just going to start talking. So I would say, how do I describe my style? Direct, strategic, friendly. It is the essence of a luxury experience, right? And I would give it as much context as I can, but look, when I hit the checkbox, all the text is here, right? So if you want to make a custom GBT, that will take longer. But if you wanted to do a project, I would say digital twin. I would take my document and I would add it to the file section. And that prompt that I showed you in there, I would paste it here and you're done. Now, anything you do inside of here will be your digital twin. Now, look, for everyone that's like, oh my God, this is going too fast, you can watch the recording again and again and again. And if I was watching the recording, I would follow along, right? So that's how simple it is. The thing is taking the time and thoughtfulness to answer all of the questions, right? Now, let's go into the memory feature of ChatGPT, right? Now, the memory feature is the most important feature. So if we go here, you click your little button here, you go to settings, personalization, you can manage your memories. Why is this important? Memories is its knowledge base about you. That is essentially what the memory feature is, right? And so we're going to go through some different benefits and examples of memory. And then how do we use it going forward, right? So if you think about it, what's one of the things that are important? It remembers the important facts that you shared. So every time you're not reinventing the wheels, right? So if I specialize in Westport luxury listings or I prefer warm but concise communication, it's going to learn that over time. And the best part is you can always go look what's stored in your memory. I always joke around, like I have a client that I worked with that's a retired NFL player, a Compass agent, and he won a Super Bowl. And I was doing this with him, and this was like 6, 8 months ago. It thought I was Michael Neal, and I'm like, why does this keep doing this? But I never knew about the memory feature. I had to literally go there and erase all of the different things that had Michael Neal's name in it. Now that's why I used the temporary chat feature. Number 2, update or delete memories anytime, right? As your business evolves, you could get rid of old scripts with new scripts. You could look at what's in there that doesn't serve you anymore, that was just a one-time thing. Memory works across chats and projects, right? The reason that we put that prompt into the project part in the instructions is so it pulls from your digital twin only and not all of your memories, right? If not, it would be making things up. So the way that it works is whatever you put in that box, which is the prompt, based on the context you give, it's going to assume and try to figure out what you want, and that's what it's going to give you. So when you put in a really generic thing and you're like, why the hell would it say this? That's why, because it's not clear, right? You can see exactly what it remembers, right? You're like, there's no more guesswork. I spent a month trying to figure out why the hell does this thing think I'm Michael Neal? I'm Chirag Shah, a real estate coach. You can store data, like things like scripts, follow-up templates, whatever you want. Memory improves with use. The more you use this, the better it gets, right? If I went into this, how many people are in our coaching program? Okay, now watch this. How would you describe Chirag Shah as a coach and the coaching program for his clients based on the style he coaches to? Transformational coach, Compass agents who value structure, performance, sustainable growth. His coaching style and programs are distinctive in their clarity, precision, and personalization. Strategic and system-based. Are we strategic and system-based? Yes. Chirag coaches from a mindset of repeatable excellence. He builds systems that allow agents to scale their business without chaos, whether it's prospecting track, seller system, or Compass tools. He teaches how to eliminate guesswork by using templates, playbooks, AI prompts, and automation so agents can focus. High accountability, low fluff. personalized and responsive, AI integrated and forward thinking, luxury brand mentality, clarity and confidence, elevated professional, results driven progress, lifetime tools and access, a community performance. And here it is. So if you're a client, is that not the message that we have? And is that not the experience that you have? Right? That's what this is all about. But this is as a result of spending endless hours working in here. Now, the memory prompt, right? So I made this for you all too. Look, please remember this for future chat. Insert what you wanted to remember. Let me know once it saves. And you'll see a little button that says updated memory. That's it, right? So if you wanted to remember a script, you wanted to remember an email template, you just put this in and then it's there. And it's like, write me an email based on my past follow-up script and here's all the things about my client. It will reference that in its memory and then it'll write you what you need. But like anything else, like you'll just continue using this and it'll get better and better. All right, memory updates. I started taking 15 to 20 minutes a week and scrubbing my memories. Because half the time, the things that are in there are like one-time uses, right? Like I was figuring out if I needed to upgrade my Slack for my team or not. I don't need it to remember that. X is a one-time thing. But then if I'm talking about like communication or stuff, it starts referring to Slack, right? So as you start using this, you'll see repetitious patterns on how this all works. All right, let's start getting into the features of ChatGPT. The dictate feature, right? Voice to text, right? That is this little button right here. Hold on. Here, dictate. You hit the button and you start talking, right? Hands-free conversation, it works on mobile or desktop. I like typing on a computer better than I do typing on a cell phone, right? But now with the dictate feature, I could just go on my phone, I hit the button and I do this, and it's really, really useful. Voice mode. Now, here's how this works. I'm driving in a car and I want to talk to ChatGPT, right? I want to brainstorm, right? I can hit voice mode. Hey, how are you?
Hey, I'm doing great. Thanks for asking. How about you? How's your day going so far?
My day's going great. So my question is, for my clients, what do you think is one thing they love about our coaching program?
I think one thing your clients really appreciate is the level of personalization and attention to detail that you bring. You really tailor everything to their specific needs and goals, and I think that makes them feel really supported and understood.
You know, they're doing really well. What would you suggest in getting more success stories to inspire the community? Because we're having a hard time actually having people fill out the success stories, but we know people have them every week.
That's a great question. One idea could be to make it as easy and fun as possible for them to share their stories. Maybe you could create a simple template or even do quick video interviews where they can just chat casually about their wins. Another approach could be offering a little incentive or a fun recognition to encourage them to share.
This is it. Look, and it still shows up in the chat, right? So this is great while you're driving, right? And it's available on the mobile app too. So now when I'm driving, sometimes I'll end up in these, like yesterday, I spent 2.5 hours in the car. And so literally was hitting the button, like trying to just figure things out, like whether it's about my life or work or whatever it is, just you're talking, it's talking back to you. I find it more productive. I like listening to music, but it's a balance, right? So that's voice mode. The live camera. Now, this is really freaking cool. Now, the live camera feature is a mobile feature, right? So now, if I hit those same 3 lines, oh no, you can't see it. Everyone, so if you're, hold on 1 second. Let me stop my sharing screen. Back to myself. All right, if you're looking here on the bottom right-hand side, there are those 3 lines. You hit the 3 lines, And then on the left-hand side, there's a camera. So I can click the camera. So I can go here and say, what am I holding in front of you?
It looks like you've got a cable in your hand, maybe for connecting a device to your laptop. Are you?
No, look at this now. What is this?
Oh, I see it now. That's a pack of NeuroGum for energy and focus. And that's definitely not a cable. My bad.
Can you look online and tell me what are the best benefits people are finding out about this? It's searching.
NeuroGum is praised for helping with focus and energy without causing jitters. People also love how convenient it is and the refreshing taste, though some say the flavor doesn't last too long.
All right. So yeah, it's pretty cool. All right, so here's what I want to share with you. How many times do you go show people properties and there's weird things you want to know? How old is this boiler? Where did the water feature come from, right? You can literally open up your fridge and put the live camera on or like, can you give me a recipe that I can cook with the ingredients that you see? How many people have kids? Do you know how many times that they had these recipes where I'm like, I'm an adult, I can't even make this. My daughter, who's 9, the other day comes up to me, Daddy, can I have your phone? Sure. What do you want my phone for? I want to use ChatGPT. And I'm like, well, what do you want to use ChatGPT? I went online and I printed out this recipe to make brownies and I don't understand. Okay. And I want to see what she does. She goes to the recipe and she says, can you explain this to me so a 9-year-old can understand? And it just broke the whole thing down. It made it good for her and it made it good for me, right? So it's endless in what this could do. But think about the value when you're out with buyers or sellers, right? Like think about it if you go into a listing presentation and you turn on the camera, it says, how would you stage this room to make a buyer feel, and hey, and then when I say the buyer feel, the seller insert all the benefits of the room that they enjoy experiencing. Like you have to have an imagination with this stuff, right? I remember last week I had my buddy on. He joined a webinar that I did, and he actually has a PhD in data science from Yale and teaches this all the time. He asked me, he goes, where do you come up with this stuff? And I sat there silently. And he's the one who built like our Chirag AI in our platform. And I didn't say anything. And he goes, that's right. I remember this when I first met you. He says, you have an amazing imagination and you're willing to try things without boundaries. So you have to try this and just use it. And as you're using it, you will find your everyday rhythm, everyday life support. I really like this because how many of us want to know what the hell is in the food that we eat, right? Like, what are the ingredients? Are they good? Are there better options? Like, it's endless on what this can do. You have to remember, this has an extremely high IQ in every job field that exists in the world and is trained on more data points than any human that you could ever imagine, right? So the more you start using this, you can literally look at like labels and be like, what's the warranty on this? Or how old is this boiler? Or who's the manufacturer? Like things in real time that make you look like you work at a technology company. Okay. Deep research. Now, when you go inside of here, you go to tools, you can click deep research, right? Now, the difference between deep research is it's trained on multiple different data points, right? So it compares options, it strategizes, and it pulls multiple sources. So let's use an example for deep research. Where would I find buyers for 109 Greens Farms Road, Westport, CT? So now I'm going to use the dictate feature. It is a single family home. I'm looking for individual buyers. The listing is priced at 1,399. And I want to get an idea of the local zip codes I'd look in, the national feeder markets I'd go into. And I'm not really interested, but I need a data-driven report with the specifics of areas, zip codes, and even give me suggestions on how I would reach them and market to them. See, 2 seconds. And now it's starting its research, right? So we'll leave this and come back to it in a little bit, but I just want to share this with you quickly. It will start going through multiple data points, right? Like sometimes this will do it for, it'll search 50 to 80 different websites and data points. It's pretty wild. All right, so we will keep going. Deep research versus normal chat. Number one, the first thing is speed. Look, if we go back here, you can see like this is starting research. Like this could take 10 to 15 minutes to do. It's structured analysis versus brainstorming, right? So think of it writing a full report on a topic versus say you wanted to know price trends for homes in a specific neighborhood. That's deep research, right? If you look at ChatGPT, it's like kind of like brainstorming, just spits it out, right? And this is what's called multi-step reasoning. It's looking at multiple data steps and going through multiple different steps of reasoning and comparing and contrasting things. So think of it like a research analysis, doing a research report, right? Versus showing up to somebody, oh, Katrina, I hope your arm feels better and heals soon. So if I go to Katrina, right, and I said, hey, what's going on in the luxury market in DC between 10 and 11 million? And she just answers the question, right? Now, if her brain used deep research, she would be going on the MLS and other websites and off-market things and looking at tax records, whatever it is that's included in that research that she chooses to do, and then she's going to give an analysis. That's the difference between deep research and just a regular chat prompt. Let's just check in on our buddy here. See, it's still starting the research, right? So web search. Look, the thing that people need to know is this model is only updated to a certain date. I don't know the exact date, but web search is real-time information versus trained knowledge, right? So it pulls the latest sources. So if I wanted to do research on a topic and I wanted to research Reddit blogs and other things like that, or Twitter to see what consumers are saying, I haven't tried this, but it's just a simple use case. I would use that, right? And so while general ChatGPT is based on existing training that potentially could be outdated, this is actually live. So you can get more local and time sensitive insights. And it's fast checking, right? Like it references the internet or realtor.com and it'll make that available to you. All right, custom GBTs, right? This is going to take you time to make. You can find 100 different YouTube videos on how to do this. It is really not complicated. It just takes time. But it can be your personalized AI assistant because it can know everything about you. You can upload your list, all of your listing materials, presentations and everything, and you can make your own seller GBT. You can make your own buyer GBT, right? You can make your own prospecting GBT. This is advanced. It's not for the beginners, right? If you're a beginner, you just need to fill out the super prompt, and like I would start just building a project because it's just much easier. And for people that know how to hit the buttons and are more comfortable, or like, you know, like I'm just going to mess around and find out and figure it out, this is a good option, right? And the cool part about a custom GBT is it's shareable, right? Like if I built a GBT that was trained on all the listing data and systems and materials we have, I could hit a button and I could just share the link with anybody and anyone can use it, which makes it really cool. Projects. I love projects, right? Like it is by far my favorite feature in here, right? One of the things I encourage all of you to do that team members is look at team member accounts versus just everyone having individual account. There's so much more control that you have over it in terms of what people see, knowledge bases, the way to have teams work in a project together. But the thing I like about a project and how we associate it to real estate is it's specifically for me for working with clients, right? So you can upload a set of instructions, right? So I'll add to this little list we have the seller instructions and the buyer instructions. And then you could just start adding files, right? So if you record all the conversations you have with your clients throughout the entire experience they have with you, you will know everything about your clients in one simple place, and you will not ever have to think about what you need to do with them. We had an agent yesterday who's a top agent in her market, and she's known for no fluff, direct and to the point, right? So You know what? I can actually show you this. Maggie. So let's go through this. Maggie was very direct, very to the point, did not want to waste time. If we go back up here, Maggie's priorities, right? Low maintenance, goals, buying expectations, past disappointments, biggest concerns, right? Maggie's really direct and to the point, right? So what are her blind spots? Too much detail, over explaining, over general, overload process, long narratives. So if you go through this, if I had to send her a note that she would feel I listened to a small detail that she would never imagine, I heard what not to say, to write a note say to write it for me. You see how bad my grammar is, and brief along the way. One of the things she first told me in my MedC pre-qualifications, like, I'm tired of paying my landscapers and pool people, like my house is way too big. In our brief conversation, something you said really stuck with me. How excited you are to no longer have to pay the landscaper and housekeeper so much. That little detail said so much more. It's about reclaiming your time, your freedom, and simplifying your life. To celebrate the new chapter ahead, here's a small gift to match that mindset. Something low maintenance, elegant, and just for you. Look forward to seeing you. Gift idea, self-watering herb garden kit, and it even has a link to the thing. All you guys that are in the chat trying to find something on your computer for ChatGPT, please stop. Pay attention to what you're doing and resist your urge to do something else, because then you're going to miss all this stuff and you're going to be confused. The App Store will be there. The app will be there. The buttons will be there. I promise you nothing will change. So that's how ChatGPT Projects works. Okay. So what to do next? Answer your digital twin questions. Choose your deployment method, right? I would put my entire document in here and I would tell ChatGPT, I need you to remember, and mess around and see if it's stored in the memory. It's not perfect, right? You could take one section at a time and paste it in there and say, I need you to commit this as memory and please confirm when it's been updated to memory. And you'll see a little button that says update memory, right? Number 3, start and use one feature at a time, right? So where I would start is learning how to use the dictate feature while you're doing like your chat prompts, right? So for Katrina, who has one hand right now or one arm, this is perfect for you, right? And number 1, commit to activity over outcome. To me, this is the most important thing in success. Now I'm going to stop my deck. Now, here's what I want to tell you. What is the principle of activity over outcome? For the love of God, if you have any love for me and for human or anything good I've ever done for your life, please don't show up and put a stupid time block in your calendar that says, I'm going to master this part of ChatGPT in 60 minutes. It does not work that way. The only thing you're doing is setting up your brain for disappointment because you failed. You have no idea how long it takes to master it. For you, it could take 15 minutes. For somebody else, it could take 3 hours. So the principle of activity over outcome on progressive growth goes to one thing. If you commit to the activity, at the end of it, you will always feel good and you'll always be successful, because what success looks like is doing that one thing without stopping for that amount of time. So let me introduce another time blocking hack, and I'm going to start answering some of the questions in here. Okay. Oops. If you go to this website, pomofocus.io, this is a Japanese method. Here's my little demo site. The Pomodoro method states, if you do one thing with absolute focus for 25 minutes at a time, you'll be shocked at how much you can get done. Your work expands or contracts to the time allotted. What does that mean? It means that if you give something 3 hours, it'll take 3 hours, right? If you give something 25 minutes, you'd be surprised on what you can do. So when you set your activity, if I'm going to just use ChatGPT, I'm going to tell you just hit this start button. Don't answer any ping, ding, ring, notification. It doesn't matter. You hit the clock and that's it. And at the end of 25 minutes, you take a 5-minute break and then go back to your next task. That's all that this is. But this is free. So you can start keeping track of all of the things that you actually did, right? So we just need to start using this. We will give you the digital AI prompt, the deployment method, the prompt memory, the things to put into the buyer and seller part of the process as well, the instructions. So for this week, this is all you need to do. For everyone that wants a desktop app, I use the web app. It works just fine for me, right? You don't need to download the app on your computer. I don't see any specific purpose to it. I use this other one for plenty of things. I'm sure it has different things, but remember, 0 to 1 is about the activity and getting started. So you just need to be able to complete your digital twin. It will be shocking when you use it. Now, if the output is wrong, you say, this is incorrect. What I need you to remember going forward and confirm you've committed this to your memory is blank, and you put it in and you're retraining the model every single day as you're using it. This can work in every single aspect of your life. ChatGPT has created this weird feeling of people. Like if you don't have it for a day, like you're all freaked out. Like like if I didn't have this for a day, it'd be weird, right? I'm not clear where we create our digital twin. Do we set up as a project? Okay, let's go through this again. Great question. So let me open up my ChatGPT. I'll show you what you do.
And do we have to create a digital twin every time?
No, one time. All right, so watch what we do here. For now, I know there's gonna be a lot of questions, so everyone just put your questions in the chat. So you will get this document. It will be your own document, meaning that you can make a copy of it. So you can put notes, you can put things. You will literally go here to the digital twin tab. Oops. Yep. All right. My screen shared. The digital twin tab. You will just go up here and you'll hit copy and paste. Command A is copy all on a Mac. Command C is here. You literally go into ChatGPT and you paste this in and you start answering the questions. That's it. You just follow the directions. Now, at the end of it, you will get a document style output that explains what your digital twin is, right? So at that point, assuming we're doing a project, right? We would go to digital twin and we would go to the AI deployment. We'd go to the project part. For this is the project instructions. I would copy and paste this into the instructions. I would save my digital twin as a doc, and I would go back in here and I would add those instructions here, and I would upload my digital twin here. And that's it. Now your project is your digital twin. I promise you, when you just follow these directions, it's really easy to do. All right, let me see more questions here. Well, you can follow this process for anything, right? So if you want an AI assistant, that's a whole different thing. Every session is recorded because we know people need to go back. We use ChatGPT because I've referred to it as the Apple of AI. Fundamentally, we all know that an Android has better functionality, a better camera, but why do we use iPhones? Because they're easy, right? If you're not a great user, don't start getting into all this multi-AI platform stuff, right? You can get plenty out of this that it works. And this has the projects feature, which I truly love, right? So let me just go back really quickly. Here is my, Jesus Christ. Here is my trending report. Westport, neighborhood affluent towns. It's giving me all the towns to market, national feeder markets, Metro, Southern California, Texas, New England, Northeast, key feeder market zip codes. I have all of the zip codes to market to in all of these different states, marketing strategies, syndicate, persistent social media, LinkedIn and niche marketing, SEO, email marketing. You're not going to get this out of here, right? Lead with lifestyle, not features. Like, look at all this. This was all done in the time that we've been working on something else. This is one of the beauties of this. All right, let's go back to the questions. Let me scroll up a little bit. Sometimes it's technology. This thing does a thing of its own. Katie, it's not agents that will, AI will never replace agents. They don't, right? Agents that don't practice role play and know how to talk to people, do a med C. Clients don't know how to med C themselves. Like they just don't, right? So if you're not practicing and role playing, you will have AI replace you. And if you don't know how to use AI, AI can replace you too, right? Like it's not a matter of like, if this is happening, it's happening now. And it's happening at a faster pace than any of you are thinking about. But the good news is you're here and you'll be more advanced within the next 4 weeks than 99% of agents in America, because 77% of adults over 20 years old are not even using this still. I'm sure it works. The app works universally on Android phone. Just going through the questions. If you don't have the $20 a month version, I don't think, Matt, you have the camera feature. So on the cell phone, if you open up a new thread, you'll see these little lines here, right? Just like we did on the desktop for the voice feature. And then on the bottom left-hand side, there's a camera button. Barbara, I hope that
Yeah, I'm
makes it clear.
sorry. I pay for it. I don't see the little lines that what you're talking about. Like, is it the plus sign says ask anything, there's the microphone, and then there's like the dictating. Is that what you mean by the lines, the dictating?
Yeah, no, it should be to the right of dictating. If it's not in your account, I don't know why. I would
The
type it in the
microphone
chat.
is the dictate.
What?
I
The
think she's
microphone is the
thinking.
dictate.
Yeah.
Yeah, the
It's in my
microphone is the dictate. If you're looking for the voice mode where you could talk to it and the camera features inside the voice.
Okay. That's what I was wondering. Thank you.
Is there a special place for deep research, or do we just tell it when we start using it? Okay, great question. So here, if you look under, zoom in, if you look under tools, Jesus. If you look under tools, there's all these buttons. This is where you find web research. We're not getting into image creation. Deep research is here, right? Depending on your account, you only get a certain amount per month, right? I pay the $200 a month because I want more access. The really big thing that we're not, whoever's unmuted, please mute yourself, is that through agent mode, you can have more searches, right? We're not getting into agent mode if you don't know how to do this, but in our last session, we'll talk about agent mode and how that works and how the first agentic AI, which is AI that can do stuff for you, actually works. So this is where you find deep research. I would use your digital twin all the time. Anytime you're doing stuff in here, Justin, you want like, the whole goal is that it's pre-programmed on all of those things about yourself, your business, your client, your price point, right? That's the goal of a digital twin. Because most of the time we get all of these generic outputs because it has no memory or context to go off of.
So, but in the personalization settings, when you go to settings and you personalize it and you tell it everything about you, why not put it there instead of putting
You can put
in
it
your
there, right?
project?
There's just I don't know if there's a capacity, right, on the amount of characters you can put in there, right? But in the personalization settings, I would say don't use M dashes, apply critical thought, reasoning, check your work 10 times, make sure that nothing that you suggest is a real estate fair housing violation. Those are your things, right? I don't know anything, Chris, about the Compass Workplace. I would pick whatever account you want, right? Whatever your email is. Our AI platform, Nomita, is made to just find our content and give you what you're looking for. Everyone, don't be afraid of this tool, right? There's nothing to be afraid of. You should be afraid of not using it because everyone already is using it. We'll send the prompts out later this afternoon once the recording processes. Compass AI. I look at Compass AI as your free assistant in the platform, right? So this year they're coming out with all these different voice features, but this just has so many more features than chat inside of here that you can use for your business. And again, I go back to the big thing. It's projects and memory. No, you shouldn't have to say use my digital twin. I would make, Michael, one project your digital twin, right? Like literally just one, And then anything you want to do it in there, because as you're correcting it, as you're doing things in there, it works. Your digital twin is essentially, think about this. When something is doing research, it has to pull for a knowledge base, right? Your digital twin is your human blueprint as an agent in all of the different things that you do. Because as you can see in 7 pages worth of questions, there's a lot and complexities to your business, right? So the whole thing about this is having this understand who you are, how you work, how you talk, right? If I went in here and said, what is the brand voice of Chirag Shah? It would literally be like, wow, that's how Chirag talks, right? Because we've gone through these exercises. So look, there's one thing I want to make very clear in this. You are never going to figure out what this is, how it works, how to use it if you just don't do it, right? So the way that our brains are programmed is like, why? My brain is programmed how. So I want to program your brains that way. There is no why, there's only how, right? So this way you can get better outputs. Like if this thing knew how to talk like you, write like you, knew your customers, use your markets, it's like, hey, I'm looking to make a newsletter for the neighborhoods I feature. Can you give me 5 local happenings this week? And then make sure the email's in my voice where it feels like blank. It's literally, you're done. It's going to pull all the information, put it together. Now add the links in and label them like this. You can search the web for this stuff. The possibilities are endless, right? I would use just regular, the 4.0 version, right? Like we're just starting. Don't focus on any of these other models, right? Like it's irrelevant. Like the difference in what one to another does is not where I think 90% of you are. Use whatever email you feel comfortable with, right? If you want to use your Compass email, use your Compass email. If you want to use your personal email, use your personal email. Compass does not have access. Nobody does.
By the way, you cannot change your email. I tried to do that with OpenAI and I checked into it. Once you set up an email account for your ChatGPT, you cannot change it. That's direct from OpenAI support. So pick an email that you're going to use forever. And because the only other way is you have to set up a brand new OpenAI account with a new email, and then you have to copy all of the work in your old account into the new account if you want it to transfer.
So a couple more questions before we wrap this up for today. Your digital twin essentially is a version in AI that just knows how you think, how you speak, knows your clients, knows your markets, right? That's all that it is, right? Like my digital twin inside of here just knows me, right? So anything I want to do, I can have something and say, put this in my voice, and it sounds like I wrote it. That's it, right? So the other one is we're giving you all the prompts, right? Like there's nothing, you literally copy and paste the prompt. That's it. There's another one that says deployment and another one that's committed to memory. Those are the only 3 things you need to do. And then just mess around with it and use your imagination. This is not as complicated as anyone thinks. If you know how to copy and paste, which I know you all know how to do, that's the first part. Then if you know how to just hit that button or type the answers, that's the second part. The third part is making sure to put in the memory prompt so that it's committed to memory, and then try just ChatGPT projects. That's it. And then see if it sounds like you. If it doesn't, this does not sound like me. I need you to remember, I would never say this, right? As soon as you say, I need this, I need you to remember, it starts remembering. And please confirm once you've updated your memory with this. It does. And then we check the memory feature to make sure that this stuff is all clean. Michael, last question, and then I have to jump.
My last question. Hey, Chirag, just on the using the camera, I was asking ChatGPT how I use it. It said that it's under, as you said, advanced voice mode, but I have to opt in to advanced voice mode in the settings before I can get into advanced voice mode and presumably the live camera feature. I don't know if that's right or not, but I thought I'd throw it out there because I haven't had a chance to test it. Maybe that's what the issue is. I wasn't able to find it.
Here's what I would do. If you feel stuck, right? What I would do is find somebody else in the group, hop on a Zoom and do this together. Literally, that's the simplest thing. right? So if somebody wants to be a pioneer, we are not going to partake in this and start reaching out to people through the chat and connecting people by all means. But look, you have to just do the 4 things. Like the one thing I always say that I notice about people and doing something new is they just keep adding more stuff on and they'll never do anything, right? All you have to do is just build this out, and Mark's nodding his head, and just start using it. It's the only way to see. It's never going to be perfect in the beginning. I still correct mine, and I spend hours in this thing every week. That's part of the process. But we were not able to get to the process if we're constantly trying to perfect something before we even get started. So on that note, with love in my heart, I love you all. Next week, when we go through the marketing part of it, the marketing part of it's all going to be prompts, right? It's just literally gonna be like, here's a prompt for this, here's a prompt for this, here's some examples. Like that's where it's just all plug and play with the super prompts, right? And then you have to use it. We're not getting into image generation and all of these other things. We need to know how to make campaigns and content. And then we get into the how to create content without being on camera. And that one is technical, just so you know. So we'll pull all the right resources and materials that'll help you through the tech from the company. And look, just get started today. That is the most important thing I can. We're going to make sure that we get this out as fast as the recording processes, right? We have to cut a little bit of it out and we'll get you everything. We're still working through the business tracker thing. At this point, I'm like 50-50 if they can publish them to your accounts. If they can't publish them to your accounts, what we're going to have to do is just do a bunch of tech sessions where we'll send you a document that has the links and you can pick the ones you want, escrow, non-escrow, and we're still actively working through that. So we thank you for your patience. I share in your excitement. We've been working on this project, Justin, for like 7 months now. 7 months. It didn't even take that long to build out our whole AI search database. So look, I hope you guys all found this really helpful. If you want to share with us something great, what was your biggest win, takeaway, aha moment? Drop it in the chat. We would love to see. I'll leave this open for 1 minute, 2 minutes more if you want to share a takeaway, aha moment, or something you got out of this session.
Can I ask a question while everybody's typing?
Sure.
Can we upload? All right, I'm finally going to pull the trigger on the upgraded version as soon as we hang up. If we upload the video that you're going to send us, can we ask ChatGPT to break it down in bite-sized pieces so that in 15 or 20-minute sessions, we can go through all the tasks that you just pulled us through? Seems like we can.
You know what I'll actually do? We will add in the recording, the raw transcript, because I think we'll have a transcript, I believe, because we have an otter in here. So we'll give you the ChatGPT, and like that'll be a fun exercise for people. What a great idea.
Stay and listen.
Yep. I love it. The best ideas come from other people. Just remember that. All right. Anyone have any other wins or takeaways they want to share? I don't think chat can break down videos yet. You can actually upload raw videos, right? So if you hit the plus button and it says, there's a thing that says add photos or files. I have added videos of golf swings and all kinds of weird things. So you can upload a video, but it actually has to be the raw video file, and all of our videos are on YouTube. So maybe we'll see if we can just send out, for our clients on here, we could send it out on the platform. For everyone else, we'll also put a Google Drive with the raw video format in there and the transcript and a link to the super prompts. So you'll get both in the email. Sound good? All right, everybody. Love in my heart. I love you all. Please just make this simple for yourselves, right? And just get started. Bye, everybody. Yeah, everyone has the recordings forever. Forever, ever, forever, ever. All right, bye, everyone.